What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Keepa deals page to find profitable books to buy and resell on Amazon. Okay, the way to find this is simply just on Google type in Keepa deals, and there you go. You'll find the deals page, and you'll see that there's a whole bunch of parameters on the left here. And essentially, what the deals page allows you to do is track information with using basically use the product finder tool, but do it more simplistically, because in the product finder page, which was my last video, you can set so many different parameters and there's a lot more nuance with that. When you go to the deals page, though, you're simplifying it and you're saying, okay, I want these specific parameters to be met, and there's just fewer things to keep track of, but you can still find profitable books. So I went ahead and input some of the parameters that I like to use, and I'll show you how it can be really valuable. So you can see on the left-hand side for the deal type, I chose used because I sell used books, so that's what I'm interested in. And the limit drop interval basically means, okay, for what time period do I want to see a certain percentage drop? I found the most success for a 3-month time period, but you can also have this on a day or a week or a month time period, like the drop interval. And for the ranges, I said I want the drop percentage to be at least 30%, meaning you take the value of a book. I want its value over a 3-month period to have dropped by a minimum of 30%. And that's something that I want to look at, because if it has dropped by that much in that period of time, it could be that that book is undervalued, which means I can buy it and resell it on Amazon. I want the drop range, or the actual dollar amount drop, to be at least $25. So not only does the price of the book have to decrease by 30% within that 3-month period, but it also has to drop by the dollar amount of at least $25. Now, lastly, the price range, meaning I want the price of that used book right now to be at least $33 or higher. Now, why would I want the price to be higher? Because by keeping the price of the book higher, we're basically eliminating so much of our competition, because for the people who do online arbitrage, the overwhelming majority of them are probably buying books between that $0 to $25 range. So if you can buy books that are a little bit more expensive, you can kind of get rid of a lot of the competition. And also the second reason is that if you buy books that are a little bit higher in value, then you run actually less risk, because you're buying a book that actually has held value for a longer period of time. And so it's less likely that if you buy that book, it's just going to tank to nothing. Now for the sales rank, I went ahead and put in my 2 million rank. Okay. And I'm also going to apply the filter lowest ever. Basically what that means is I want this book to not only have dropped by 30%, to have dropped by at least $25. And for right now, it's priced to be above $33, but I also want the used price to be lowest ever that it's been on this Keepa chart. And lastly, I want to look at this data based upon a percentage drop. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and then select the book category, right? Because this could be applied to many different categories, but I'm interested in books. And I'm going to go and press the Find Deals button there. And now this is going to return a whole bunch of results that meet this criteria. You can see that 262 products meet this criteria. And remember, if I were to come over here and just change any of these slightly, then the number of returned books that come back to me would change drastically. Okay, so we're going to look through a list of about 10 or 11 different books here just to show you how you can make money doing this. Okay, so the first book we're going to look at is this Poor Elasticity. So something that you notice by looking at this is in the last year, it hasn't really sold a lot, but it has sold 3 times. And each time it's sold for well over, or for around $200. Now, recently the price dropped down to $45, and we can go on Amazon by right-clicking Amazon there, and we can see that right now there's only one copy for that $45 mark. And if someone were to buy that, it jumps right back up to the new $154. But something to notice is that there is only one Prime offer, and that's Amazon themselves selling it for $299. There are no other Prime offers, even the new, let's see, actually, let's make sure that's true. New Prime. There are no other new third-party Prime offers either. So if you were to buy this book for $45, I mean, it has precedent for selling for over that. And if you go back into its history, you can see it has precedent for selling for a pretty high dollar amount. So if you want to go ahead and buy that book, I would probably buy that book, but I'll leave that there for you if you want to look at it. Okay, let's take a look at the next book here. We're going to scroll down to this field guide book. Okay, So something that's interesting is we see a repricing war that's happened pretty recently. The new third party is around $70. Amazon's around $83. The used price is well above that, which means the used copies are probably not selling. It's going to be the Amazon new price that's selling here. But again, remember this downward staircase spiral. That's a repricing war between two different people that are selling this book. What I did was set a tracker because I realized that at the price right now, there's not enough margin for me, but there might be enough margin for me if this ever gets to $20. So let's just go and look at the used offers quickly to see what's going on here. So yeah, we see that there are basically two sellers, Bookworm and Warrior Gabby Books. They're at $40 free shipping. And I don't know, they might get to $20. Probably not. Someone will probably buy it before then, which means that whichever copy's left over is probably going to shoot back up based upon the repricing rules. But if it ever did get to $20, that's something that I would consider buying for sure to flip back on Amazon. All right, let's look at the next one. Let's scroll down till we see this, The Russian Icon. All right, this is an interesting book. You can see that it sold last August and September for $180, more recently for over $150. And look, another repricing war here. And let's look at, throughout its history, it's even sold for upwards of $350. And right now it is at its lowest used offer because remember, we checked that box, the lowest used ever. So let's go to Amazon now and let's see what these offerings look like. We have one at $42. It's a used acceptable copy. And then we go up to 86, 88, and then 157. Now, the person has 100% feedback, which is very difficult to do on Amazon when you sell books. So it's likely that they are under promising the condition of this book. It might actually be a good condition copy, or it might actually just truly be an acceptable copy. So if it were me, considering their feedback is that good with that many ratings, I probably would buy that book and then try to resell it for 140. But again, I'm not going to buy that. I'll leave that there for you if you want to check that out. All right, let's take a look at another book. This nutrient requirements book. It's been selling new for about $160, $150. The used price is really high up there as well. But recently it's had a repricing war as well. And you can see that this book actually is a pretty new book, right? It's only been there, not even for a year. But let's go and take a look at the used offers to see what the repricing war looks like. So we got 6 copies. That's really important, the stock quantity. You got to keep that into account. So there's 6 copies at $57.82, one at $59. So these two are in a repricing war, and then it goes right back up to $140. So there is definitely potential for you to set a tracker, which is what I did. Some of you might even consider buying a couple of these copies at 57, because if you can sell them for $130 or $140, you're definitely going to make money. Now, you might not make 100% ROI, but you might make 40% or 50% or 60%, which in a lot of businesses is a really good ROI. But what I did is I went ahead and set a tracker. So I said, if it ever gets to $31, let me know, because that'll be my trigger point. That's when I can buy it. But I would argue that you could definitely make money on that right now if you wanted to buy it. Let's go on to the next copy. Let's look at Health Psychology. Okay. This has been selling for over $200 here, December through March. It sold for over $180 there. Historically, right, it's only been up there for about 2 years, but historically it's sold. Now we're in this repricing war. Let's see how low we'll go. The buy box is $163, and you can buy it for $50 right now, about $54. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 used offers, acceptable, and good. And then we shoot right back up to this 163. So there's definitely potential there. Now, if you probably might want to set a price tracker on this as well, because we don't know how low it's going to go, but you don't want to be monitoring it every day yourself, but you want to be notified, right, automatically if it ever does go below a certain dollar amount. Now, for me, I'm actually restricted on McGraw-Hill. And a lot of people are restricted on McGraw-Hill. That's because of a number of reasons. So I'll talk in a video later about, counterfeit likelihood, why we're restricted on some, on some books, why we're restricted on some publishers. But I can't sell that. But if you do sell McGraw-Hill, then that's a great opportunity right there. All right, let's keep going down. Let's go to the student workbook here. Okay, $80 new third party, over $100 Amazon new. The used price is really healthy. It's really high, except recently it has dropped down to 40. Now, personally, there probably isn't enough margin for me. You might be able to squeeze like a 15-20% margin out of that, but I did set a tracker at 25. I'd pounce on that. Okay, so there's another book for us to look at. Let's keep going down. Let's look at this book here. Okay, this book is sold for over $140. It's sold a handful of times. So again, a lot of these books are not selling a lot, but there is precedent of them selling. Recently, we've had a repricing war. We're now down to 54. And most recently, someone bought this a couple days ago for $114. They're probably kicking themselves because they could have bought it for much cheaper. But let's go and take a look at the used offers here. So we have 57 and then 57 here as well. So there's two people competing for that price. None of those are FBA sellers either, which means if you came in, like if you bought this copy, only one of them, you could come in with the prime and you'd probably win the buy box. And again, 54 might be too much capital for you to put up. So you might want to put a tracker. Like I'll go and track this and say, if this gets to 42, let me know and I'll maybe go and purchase those. Honestly, I might even buy that. I might consider buying that book now, but again, I'll go ahead and leave that to you. I'll leave all these books that I'm showing you in these videos. I'm not going to buy. I'll leave those to you if you want to go ahead and purchase some of them. Okay, let's keep going down. Let's see. I'm looking for Mercedes-Benz. All right. So Mercedes-Benz, this service manual is apparently very valuable. It's been selling for over $100. And even if you look back 3,000 plus days, I mean, over $100 is what its true value is. You can see that if you look at the used offer count, it's not really any higher than it used to be. And even when the used offer count was really high, it's the value was still stayed the same. Recently, however, we've seen some price drops. It's because of probably a repricing war, excuse me. 41, 37, 42. Yeah, so there's three people there in a repricing war. So there's definitely a possibility for you to buy that for, $42 and probably sell for around $100. I mean, right now, Amazon themselves is in the buy box. So you could actually go above the third party new price. You could probably go at 120 and get the buy box. So, that's an opportunity. I'll leave those copies there for you. And of course, you could set a tracker. So it's at 37. Like, let's say I want to be notified when it gets to $30. I can go ahead and track that there. All right. I only want to go over maybe one more copy. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll round out the video. Okay, let's go into pediatric headache here. Same sort of story. It's held this high, consistent used and new value. Recently, it's seen a large drop. It's now $39. There might be a little bit of room for you to squeeze some margin out, but maybe setting a tracker there to see if the price goes down even further might help you out so you can buy it then. Now, one thing I want to point out is that we've only looked at maybe, see the scroll bar here? We've only looked at about maybe a third or a fourth of the 150 results on this first page. And there's a total of 262 results in 2 pages. So you could definitely incorporate this into your business and buy 5, 10 books a day. And honestly, if you're spending this sort of this capital to buy 5 or 10 books a day, that might be all that you need to reach revenue of like $100,000 a year. If you found any value in this video, let me know down below. Hit that like button, consider subscribing. And if you have any ideas for future videos, if there's anything in your FBA business that you need help with, let me know in the comment section below. I'd be happy to make a video and help you out. But that's all I have for you. So hope you have a great day and goodbye.